Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet a real-life Renaissance woman. She's a philanthropist, she's a freedom fighter, she is a celebrity stylist. Her story just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I am so blessed. I've had 2 great careers in my life. I was a television reporter for 25 years, won some Emmys, helped free a man from prison, and then I made a pivot and I started a public relations firm, and now we've grown into a large digital broadcast company. But I cannot hold a candle to my next guest, Hawatmeh. She's with Mom Me Makeover. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me on. So exciting to be here in Texas.
Well, I think my audience will be blown away by your journey because you've done it all. You really have, and you have other mountains that you're climbing.
Yes.
Let's start with your modeling career. Tell us about that.
So I started really young. I've always loved fashion. So when I started modeling, it was my first designer was Patricia Field. So I loved Sex and the City. But so I modeled for her, for Patricia Fields in New York. And my parents were so strict that I couldn't tell them that I was getting in modeling.
Wow. Okay, so it's one thing to model, it's another thing to become a designer.
Yes, I've always had a love for fashion, and I have this mentality where mind over matter, and just the drive and the passion that I had in me at such a young age to never give up. And so I wanted to get into fashion, so I teamed up with another person that was in fashion. She wasn't a fashion designer, but she was working with shoes, and I said, let's create our own line.
Wow.
And we did it. And I always think big. I don't think like, okay, let's do it local. No, let's do it all the way. So I did it New York Fashion Week, first year, launched my line. It was a huge success. And then I launched my sunglass line.
Wow.
So,
okay,
yeah.
I want to show a little clip. Let's go ahead and roll it. Wow. Well, something I want the audience to know about you is you are a fighter. You are both a cancer survivor and a domestic abuse survivor.
Yes. I think that's what gave me the strength. And before I came here, I was speaking at Graham High School. And I told the students, I mean, if there's one thing that you can take away in life, you will always have things that may hold you back, but use that as strength and to push you and to make you stronger. And I think that's what gave me the drive, are all of the negative things or all of the things that people may look at as negative, being a victim, and making that the force to push you to become better and to prove everyone wrong.
And what is your message to women especially? Because I love it that you lift as you climb. Many of these events that you put on are really to draw attention to a cause.
Yes, there has to be a purpose behind everything that I do. As a fashion designer, as a business owner, as a philanthropist, a politician, a freedom fighter, everything has the same purpose. It's to make a difference. And if I can't make a difference with what I'm doing, there's no purpose in doing it. And so I'd rather change a life than sell a dress. So I created Survivor Fashion Week. When I was first diagnosed, I think I waited like 3 or 4 months, and I reached out to a couple of nonprofits, and Komen being one of them. And so I did a show. I created Survivor Fashion Week, and all my models were breast cancer survivors. How do I take a negative and turn it into a positive and change people's lives? And that I feel like that's always been my purpose. So it's fulfilling your purpose, but doing it with confidence, and not letting having cancer or being through what I've been through, having that hold me back.
Yes, and I love it that the spotlight is not always on you. You like to share the spotlight. You just launched a very successful podcast. We're going to put this up on the screen. I want you to tell us about the show and why you do it.
Well, it's to wake up America. My slogan is never give up, never give in. There's so many like-minded conservatives out there, and how can you make a difference by reaching out to people? I have a huge following on social media. I figured the next phase, next chapter is to start my podcast with America One. And so I started it, and it's been such a positive response. People have just been, like-minded. People have been reaching out to me. How can we get involved? How can we help? What can we do? So it's been so wonderful. It's a great journey, and I'm so blessed and thankful.
Absolutely, and you're a proud conservative, and you ran for Congress. We've
did.
got some pictures. So
Yikes.
tell us what district you ran for.
I ran in New York 19. I was endorsed by the Conservative Party, and I won on primary night by a large number. And then due to mail-in ballots, I lost. And so after, usually candidates that run, they lose and they disappear. I actually, again, going back to anything negative, you just keep fighting. You keep moving forward. Nothing can hold you back except for yourself. So after I lost, as I said, I can't say never give up if I'm going to give up. So I kept on, I was passing out PPE products because it was during COVID, and people are like, well, you lost. Well, that doesn't mean I give up. It doesn't mean I give up on the people. My cause is still the same. So I kept fighting, and till today, I still keep fighting. Every day, it is a fight. And people say, well, don't use the word fight. Well, when there's a war on your hands, you fight.
Yes. Now, I have to say, I'm one of those people who I want everybody to love me, and so politics would be too rough a game for me.
It is.
If the polls came out and 90% of America loved Jeff Crilley, but 10% hated me, I would be like, what's wrong with the 10%?
I have.
So, you must have a thick skin.
Yes, I do have thick skin, and it's the left. They're so do as I say, not as I do, and they're such hypocrites, and they contradict. Not all, but for the most part. And so they talk about having a thick skin, but when you fight back, they don't expect that. They expect you to compromise your values. They expect you to have this mindset where there aren't any other options except for to surrender. And there are options. So when I fight back, when I voice my opinion, when I encourage others to become activists for the sake of the future generations to come, it's time to wake up America. And the left, actually, they've been, by fighting back, they've left me alone, which is shocking because they know that they cannot tear me down. My mission and my purpose is bigger than, and nothing can, the only thing I fear is one thing, and that's God. So I have not allowed them to scare me, and I encourage others who are afraid. I've had friends, and I'm going to say this on your show, the first people that told Sean Hannity told me, he's like, don't run, do not run, don't run. It's ugly. It's so terrible out there. Do not run. And I said, I'm going to. And what do I have to fear? Why are we afraid? It's just that mindset. Be afraid. Don't speak up. Don't do this. They're going to come after you. Come after us. What they've done is enough damage. It's time to win back our country. It's time to win back America for the sake of our children.
Would you run again?
I may. You may hear some news soon. You may hear some news soon. Live here today, I may announce that I will be running.
Well, you are you're such a polished politician, if you will, and I hate to use that word politician because you had never run for office before. Right?
I never did, and it's that dream big, never small. They said, well, you've never run for office. Why Congress? Why not? Why be a freedom fighter? Why not? So when I ran, everyone was shocked. Well, you don't have the experience, but by winning on primary night and having the people in New York 19 wake up and say, oh, wow, our voices really matter. We have a politician that came to our farm. We have a politician that came to our business when no one else ever did or no one cared. And that's what we need. We need more people out there that care, more leaders out there that care. If you're a leader, lead with heart. And that's what I believe in.
Okay, we're almost out of time. So for the young lady who's watching this right now, and I want to speak specifically to the young lady because I think there's a lot of pressures these days and challenges, and we all have adversity. What do you want to say to the young lady who is having a lack of self-esteem or questioning herself?
That's interesting that you say that because I was speaking to the high school students before I came here, and my message to that young lady is believe in yourself. Never listen to the voices or those around you that tell you that you can't, and use all the negativity as tools to push you to become great. Have faith in yourself, believe in yourself, and stay true to yourself, and always be confident.
Wow, that's a great way to end this segment. We're going to also leave you with the website, which is olastyle.net. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.